Ho ho boardies, welcome to Borderline Games. I'm Gareth and this is Dangnaronpa 2 Goodbye Despair, episode 43. More class trial, it's the fourth one. Last time we discovered the secret about the funhouse, the fact that the strawberry house was above the grape house, and Kazuichi hit a new low. What's next? So the last thing that was said was that it appears yet another contradiction has been birthed.
How were you able to discover Nekomaru died at 7:30 a.m. when you went to the tower at 7?
Ah, yeah, his radio clock said that the time was 7:30 when he died. But he was, people went to the tower at 7 and found his body.
That's what I want to know!
That's what I want to know! That's what I was saying! Another mystery I don't understand. Seriously, it's just one after another. But can't choke up at a time like this. Just a little more, and I'll be able to reach the truth. There should definitely be a clue to breaking through this contradiction. Alright, so what we're going to do to work out the contradiction here. Make your argument. Good night button. Wall clock. Radio clock. Maybe that is what's key. I'm going to have a look at what it says first.
Grape Tower. Before 7 a.m., I am certain.
Oh.
But the alarm inside Nekomaru's chest was set for 7:30 a.m.
Nekomaru died because of that alarm, right?
This alarm woke him up.
His time of death and the time the body was discovered. One of those must be an illusion.
Okay.
The killer probably did some tampering. They probably messed with the clock inside Nekomaru's chest. That's gotta be it!
They can't mess with it because it's a radio clock. The alarm that caused Nekomaru's death rang at 7:30 a.m, but we discovered his body before 7. I need to crush one possibility at a time if I'm going to break through this contradiction. Alright, so I've got to do the one at the very end.
Before 7 a.m., I am certain.
But the alarm inside Nekomaru's chest was set for 7:30 a.m.
But that is what is going on.
Nekomaru died because of that
Oops.
alarm, right?
His time of death and the time the body was discovered. One of those must be an illusion.
Which one is
The
it?
killer probably did some tampering. They probably messed with the clock inside Nekomaru's chest. That's gotta be
Oh,
it!
goddammit, missed it. Alright. I'll get it next time. The alarm that could blah, blah, blah. I need to crush one possibility. Blah, blah, blah.
We headed for Grape Tower. Before 7 a.m., I am certain.
There's no mistake. That's impossible.
But the alarm inside Nekomaru's chest was set for 7:30 a.m.
Nekomaru died because of that alarm, right?
His time of death and the time the body was discovered. One of those must be an illusion.
Alright, this is where...
The killer probably did some tampering. They probably messed with the
Here we
clock
go.
inside Nekomaru's chest.
J'accuse!
No, that's wrong.
Break.
No, the clock inside his chest was a radio clock, so it would have been impossible to mess with.
Exactly.
So you're saying there's no way the killer could have tampered with the clock?
Maybe the clock Miss Sonia saw was the one that got tampered with.
The clock inside Grape House?
No, I checked all the clocks inside the funhouse.
Oh, that's what I asked you to do. So you really listened to me and checked all the clocks.
So the clocks must have been wrong.
And because of that, I can confidently declare that all the clocks had the same time displayed.
If there's no possibility that the time was tampered with, then we must doubt that human's testimony.
Alright.
We are not lying.
Calm down, Gundam.
Then maybe it's a misunderstanding?
Oh, he's all bashful.
I never misunderstand. I'll crush you into dog food.
This time-related contradiction, I don't think I should doubt the testimonies. I should doubt the clock. There's no mistake that something was done, but... what was it? Perhaps we've overlooked something. Maybe we're misunderstanding something. Think. If I focus and think, I should be able to find the answer to that mystery. Logic dive. Oh, I love these. Alright, come on. Woo. Ah. First question. Question 1. Hajime and the others misunderstand the time in the building. Ah! Oh, god damn it. Who the killer is, where the murder happened. Here we are. This is where we need to be. Jesus, oh my god. I've just noticed that the yellow squares act as a checkpoint. Okay, let's try this again. Okay. Oh, missed it. Okay. Yes, got it. All right, next question. Question 2. The building's clock's been tampered with. Who? Yes, got it right. Oh. This is not good. All right. Question 3. Which house had... both houses! Okay. Which house had the wrong time? Both houses. Boom. So what did Hajime and the others misunderstand? The time in the building? Which clock was tampered with? The building's clocks? And which house had the wrong time? Both houses. Okay. We got it. Complete.
You said you checked all the clocks inside the building. Isn't that right, Fuyuhiko?
Yeah, none of the clocks had the wrong time.
But what if all those clocks have been messed with?
What? All the clocks?
Yeah, because otherwise Fuyuhiko would have noticed a time discrepancy.
So even if you checked all the clocks inside the building, there's no way you'd have noticed it.
I see. So the killer messed with the time inside the whole building by changing all the clocks.
So that's what it was.
Maybe it was
There's
daylight
no way I
savings.
would have noticed that.
This is truly fantastic!
Now's not the time to be pleased. More importantly, how much was the time off?
By like half an hour, maybe? At least half an hour. She's right, that's the main problem. I need to clarify by how much the time was off after the killer messed with the clocks. That's definitely the next mystery. I'm going to reach the truth in one go. Someone heard a sound, didn't they? Okay, so... was it Akane?
If the time in the...
Right, hang on. Let's have a look at Akane's account. Heard a rumbling noise at around 5:30. Okay.
Then we can only rely on Nekomaru's radio clock.
The time of death was clearly 7:30 a.m.
No, it wasn't.
What time would 7:30 be? In our time.
Oh, it was 7:30, wasn't it? What am I talking about?
Clues that can be used to narrow that down? If only I heard the sound when you fell.
J'agree!
I agree with that.
break.
That's right. We should have heard the sound he made when he fell. Wasn't it that rumbling noise?
Rumbling? I thought it was just an earthquake, so I went back to sleep. Was that the sound from when Nekomaru fell?
So does that mean it's definitely not Akane? Because why would she own up to that?
Well, a huge body fell from the 4th floor to the 1st, and the pillar fell with it. It's obvious we'd hear the impact sound.
So it was 5:30. That means that there's a difference of 2 hours.
We heard that noise too.
It was when we were gathered at the Strawberry House Lounge. What is it, Sonia?
Oh, well. That sound everyone heard? I did not hear it at all.
Oh, suspicious.
Huh?
Oh.
Probably didn't hear it because you were sleeping.
I could not sleep at all. I was awake the whole night with hunger pangs.
There's nothing to worry about. What's important is that rumbling noise anyway.
If we use that rumbling sound as a reference, we might be able to figure out how much our time was off.
I heard that sound probably around 5:30 in the morning. Huh? You can tell? I instantly woke up and left my room. And that's when I saw the clock in the lounge. Excellent work, Akane.
If that rumbling sound we heard was at 5:30 a.m., it's like the answer to how much our time was off is literally right in front of me. Hey, what's going on? There we are. Oh, okay.
I see.
I was using the WASD, and apparently I should be using
Nekomaru's
just
alarm
the
went off at 7:30.
arrow
If
keys.
we heard the sound of his impact at 5:30, that means our time was off by 2 hours.
2 hours? That much?
We were starving pretty badly. There's no way we would have noticed.
Plus, the funhouse has no windows. And there weren't any Monokuma announcements either.
However, for what reason?
So if it was 5:30
our perception of time.
when he fell, and we discovered the body at 7. So it's a 90-minute difference.
The reason is obvious.
90 minutes before the body falling and when people discovered it. Lure out only Nekomaru.
If you messed with the clocks and used a specific thing, you definitely get Nekomaru to the tower alone, right? From there,
Oh, because he was the only one that knew the time was 7:30.
that's all it means.
Besides messing with the time, the killer also used a specific thing. It was the Tai Chi. If they were trying to lure only Nekomaru, then that specific thing was... there. Tai Chi.
I see.
I see!
That's it. The killer made use of the Monokuma Tai Chi activity in the morning.
How did they use it?
We were required to go to Great Tower every morning at 7 a.m. for that activity, right?
Seems like a pretty clever thing to do.
But if they
Who's
messed
capable
with
of doing
those
that?
inside the building, what would that do to us?
Nikito knows a bit too much about this stuff.
We wouldn't be able to attend on time, but that wouldn't affect Nekomaru. His radio clock had the exact time.
That's right. In doing so, the killer was able to lure him to the tower by himself at the precise time.
Then, when I witnessed Nekomaru early in the morning,
If I recall, you witnessed Nekomaru around 5 a.m. And if that time was also 2 hours off, it should have been 7 a.m. Yeah, that's pretty much it. At that time, he was heading over to Monokuma Tai Chi, right on schedule.
I see. Now that I think about it, I realize what Monokuma meant when he said those words.
Too early. He didn't even ask you yet.
Geez, how outrageous! I honestly didn't expect everyone to ditch Monokuma Tai Chi. But it turned out like this after all, so I guess it can't be helped.
When you said everyone, you were including us, right? We thought we came to the tower on time, but in truth, It was way past the meeting time.
Ah, jeez. That's, well, how should I put it? What was it? You know, tripping over a foot or something like that.
Are you talking about tripping over someone else's fault?
I've not heard that expression, I don't think.
Wrong! Too bad!
It's not an expression. Oh, okay, cool. I was gonna say, I thought a bit stupid then.
Liar! I'm right!
That's not it! It's incorrect!
Is it?
That's definitely the correct answer. You always get so
Maybe I'm just stupid.
like this.
Let's just ignore the peanut gallery. Now that we've found out how the killer lured Nekomaru, the number of suspects has drastically decreased.
Huh?
Hey, why would that decrease the number of suspects? Don't be a friggin' liar!
You'll know I'm not lying when you listen to what Fuyuhiko's going to say next.
Huh? What the hell do you mean?
You witnessed Nekomaru going toward the tower. Did something else happen after that?
Are you talking about that alarm?
Alarm?
A little while after I witnessed Nekomaru, the clock in the Strawberry House lounge started going off. Plus, it was just before that rumbling sound occurred. That's it. So that's what it is.
It was just before the rumbling sound occurred.
If
Right.
Nekomaru died when the rumble happened, then whoever doesn't have an alibi at the time is the prime suspect.
Right, who doesn't have an alibi at the time? Everyone's asleep, right?
Was there anyone who didn't have an alibi at that time?
I remember now. The sound was so loud I couldn't help bolting from my room. But there was one guy who never left the lounge. We were both on the same floor. It's pretty weird that bastard never came out of his guest room.
Who was it?
Which means that person does not have an alibi for when Nekomaru fell? Who isn't? Who's the bastard?
It's whoever doesn't have an alibi for that time. Does Nagito have an alibi? Who doesn't have an alibi? Well, Nagito?
You're the only one!
You're the only one!
The one who wasn't there. It's you, right, Nagito?
Nagito.
That's right. Nagito wasn't there. It was just me, Gundam, and Fuyuhiko.
You didn't come out, even though the alarm was going off like crazy. You weren't in your room, were you?
If that's the case, where were you?
Please, say something! If you don't hurry up and answer, I'm gonna suicide
Unalive.
you!
If I may be frank, even if I wanted to go to the lounge, I couldn't.
Huh?
You couldn't? What do you mean?
Is it because you were in the dead room?
It's merely the foolish talk of the weak.
Not only did I not hear the alarm, I never even heard that rumbling sound.
He couldn't.
You're definitely fucking lying.
However, that is also true for me. It is obvious that I did not hear the alarm in Strawberry House,
Right.
but I did not hear the rumbling sound either. Is that not strange? I mean, everyone else heard it.
Is that due to the type of room that people were in?
To be honest, it's not just them. The same goes for me too.
Do you have any evidence as to maybe these two were in the posher rooms? Because there was like... There were standard rooms and then posher rooms. Huh?
I was in a pretty deep sleep, so I thought that's why I couldn't hear it, but it wasn't that. I probably couldn't hear it at all.
Yeah, they must have been in the deluxe
What
rooms.
does that mean?
You still don't know.
You fool.
Think about what the three of us who didn't hear a sound have in common, and I'm sure you'll figure it out.
The only people who didn't hear the rumbling sounds were Nagito, Sonya, and Shiaki. The secret is what these three have in common. Could this also be the secret that points to the killer? Okay, so what is this? Is that deluxe rooms? Oh, there's a D. Oops. It is, it's deluxe rooms. Oh. Okay. Oh, goddamn. Okay. Ooh. Okay. Looking for an M. Oops. God damn it. Boom! Got it. Danganronpa.
Nagito, Sonya, and Chiaki. The three of you were staying in deluxe rooms, right? If I recall, the deluxe rooms are...
The guest rooms are divided up by quality grade. The deluxe room is soundproof and has excellent air insulation. The standard room may have so-so insulation, but it's still pretty decent. And the crummy room has severe airflow and draft problems.
The reason we could not hear the rumbling noise...
That's right. It was because the deluxe rooms have superior sound insulation.
Okay.
You actually noticed that. Nice catch, Hajime. Are you using your ultimate reserve corps student talent?
Oh, you can fuck off, Nagito.
Now then, you guys
Nothing to say.
understand by now, right? The true identity of Nekomaru's killer.
Hold on a sec. Why does that lead to who the killer is?
Why? Well, that fact just now is a very important clue, and a decisive factor in identifying the killer.
Okay.
Decisive factor?
Somehow I feel like I understand what Nagito means. The killer among us. The killer who murdered Nekomaru. Select somebody. Okay, so... Not Nagito. Not Shiaki. Not Sonya. Kazuichi. Not me. Gundam. So I've got a choice between Fuyuhiko, not Akane, not Fuyuhiko. So it's not Akane because she heard the noise, right? Let's have a look at Fuyuhiko's account. Maybe I can't do that. Well, he checked all the clocks, so I'm off his case. Oh, please don't tell me it's you, Gundam.
You're the only one! Gundam, there's something I want to ask you. When the alarm rang at the Strawberry House Lounge, you rushed over there too, right?
Yeah.
What's wrong with that? If the bell of catastrophe rings throughout the night, it is the universe's providence to stop it.
Stop it.
Why were you able to hear it?
Oh, he was in a deluxe room. The doy.
Hear what?
I mean, you were also staying in a deluxe room, right? Nagito was staying in a deluxe room in the same house on the same floor, and he couldn't even hear it. So why were you able to hear that alarm?
Now that you mention it,
Gundam?
Oh, you've let me down. You've let me and your 4 divas of devastation down.
There's only one possibility. You weren't in your room at the time. That's why, even though you were staying in a deluxe room, you still went to the lounge. Am I right?
Gundam, you have some sort of explanation, right?
Oh.
Gundam probably couldn't return to his room because of Fuyuhiko. Me? After you saw Nekomaru heading to the tower, you stayed at the lounge for a while. Am I correct? Until the moment that alarm started ringing, right? If you were in the lounge for that long, the killer who had left earlier obviously wouldn't be able to go back.
Even though
And it was
Nekomaru's
Gundam.
murder was a death trap that utilized the alarm in his chest. The killer still needed to prepare the murder in advance.
like putting Nekomaru in sleep mode and tying him up with the wire.
In order to do that, the killer needed to be waiting for Nekomaru at the tower. Which means when Fuyuhiko witnessed Nekomaru, the killer was already at the tower.
And once they tried to go back, they couldn't because Fuyuhiko was at the lounge.
In their original plan, the killer should have returned to their room before the alarm in the lounge went off. And they were supposed to stay in their room. They weren't planning to come out and go to the lounge.
Which means they wouldn't have heard the alarm or the rumbling sound.
I'm conscious I haven't said something in a while, but I'm kind of really process everything that's going on.
Just like us.
So is it definitely Gundam? Is Gundam the only one that could have done it?
The best case scenario would have been if those two in the lounge had gone to check the deluxe rooms. After all, if they personally saw the killer sleeping in their room, it gives the killer a stronger alibi. Unfortunately, they failed to secure that alibi.
Because I was in the lounge.
So the killer couldn't go back to their room, and ended up hearing the lounge's alarm.
Hey, what are you doing? This raucous, it's louder than a supreme ruler of the Netherworld bellowing for a sacrifice. Don't go making all that noise so suddenly.
But why'd you come out? You should have hid till the excitement died down. If Gundam tried to hide, and if those two went to his room to check on him, he would have been found out.
Okay.
That would have been the worst possible outcome. That's why he couldn't just stay hidden.
If those two had just checked the deluxe rooms as planned, that would have been ideal, but how ironic. The moment Fuyuhiko set foot in the lounge, your plan was doomed.
Gundam? Please, can you at least say something?
Yeah, Gundam, I need to hear that you didn't do it.
Answer me this, including myself in my 4 dark devas of destruction. How many ears do we possess?
Huh?
The answer is 10. That's right, I possess 10 ears. That means I have 5 times the hearing of a normal human. The soundproof system here may as well not exist.
Is that your argument?
You bastard! Do you understand the situation you're in right now?
Do not panic. The truth shall now commence. At the time, I left my room to go to the bathroom. By coincidence, I heard the alarm. That's right. That's all it was. The world is always so simple.
Are you saying it was just a coincidence? Isn't that timing a little too perfect?
And yet, I'm being suspected by all of you. It seems it was actually horrible timing on my part.
I see. You're still holding out.
For a hero.
Well, you don't have to admit it. We're going to decide who the killer is with the majority vote anyway. So, why don't we just go ahead and start voting? It's obvious that Gundam is the killer.
Hold on a sec.
You know, Hajime, this class trial, this killing, it's merely the opening act, you know.
Hey! What do you mean a class trial is just the opening act?
Perhaps I should say, it's just a farce.
Oh, what's this?
Just a boring farce. So boring, so stressful. I'm so painfully bored that I might develop stomach ulcers. Seriously. Let's just hurry up and finish this before I collapse from poor health.
Nagito, something definitely happened to you, didn't it?
What happened to Nagito?
At some point during the investigation, your behavior became even weirder. What actually happened? Did you discover something?
Well, let's just leave that fun for later. And finish this opening act already.
Okay, Mr. Mysterious.
Said opening act again!
Please hold on! We have yet to hear Gundam's rebuttal!
Nagito's being a bit suspicious now.
But he's completely shut up. Perhaps he can't argue anymore.
Gundam!
I was simply at a loss for words after being dumbfounded by your pathetic assumption. In fact, I shall deny the very basis. Your assumption has been wrong since the beginning.
Since the beginning?
Since the beginning?
Based on your assumption, I hung Nekomaru from the 4th floor of the tower and made the floor descend to the 1st floor. From there, after returning to Strawberry House, I was present when the alarm at the lounge went off, correct? Although going to and fro is busy enough as it is, how would I be able to travel between both houses anyway?
The secret passage?
I see. The contact elevator was broken.
Yeah, but there's a secret passage. Don't forget that.
I recall the killer tampered with the Grape House control panel, which shut down the elevator. Plus, the stopped elevator should have been facing the Grape House side. If so, the human who used the elevator would have left it at Grape House. For these reasons, it's an indisputable fact that the killer destroyed the elevator at Grape House.
And what's wrong with that?
If the elevator was broken at Grape House, you wouldn't be able to return to Strawberry House.
However, I was already at Strawberry House. I was present when the alarm in the lounge started ringing, which means your assumption is clearly wrong.
No, I know what.
Are you
We got
serious?
the secret passage as a thing. Little trap door. Maybe this? Alright.
Have you learned your lesson, pitiful humans? You cannot overcome this contradiction.
That's wrong. When something is obviously wrong, that's when a contradiction is born. There's no such thing as a contradiction that can't be overcome. No? Make your argument. Oh shit, we don't even have... Oh, okay. Maybe it's something we're gonna have to absorb. Let's have a look.
That elevator was the only means of travel between the two houses.
And that's not true.
The elevator was broken. Your assumption collapses.
Plus, the elevator was broken at Grape House.
If the killer cannot return to Strawberry House,
Since I was at Strawberry House at that time, there's no question that the following crime is impossible.
It would have been different if they had an accomplice.
Or if there was a secret passageway.
How much longer do you plan to lecture me? Why
I
don't
got
you
it.
Stop this already?
You're toast, Gundam. A contradiction is when something is obviously wrong. There's no contradiction I can't shoot through. I'm going to find out what that is. For the sake of everyone's hope, I'll shoot through the contradiction.
That elevator was the only means of travel between the two houses.
J'accuse! Oops. I just used the radio clock by mistake.
No, there should have been another way to
Oh no,
get
it went
between
back
the
to the
two
radio
houses
clock.
without the elevator.
Phew!
Such a method does not exist.
Then why don't we ask the person who actually used that method?
If Gundam doesn't know about that method, Nagito's looking more and more guilty. Nagito.
You're the only one!
You're the only one!
Nagito, you should know.
What are you talking about?
Don't play dumb. You appeared so suddenly that one time because you used that method, right?
Nagito, why are you here? Because I showed up.
There's a secret passage connecting the first floor of Strawberry House to the third floor of Grape House. Isn't that right?
Nagito.
Jeez. Once again, I let the reserve course show off. But you're right. There's a door on the floor of the office.
He doesn't
Which is on the
miss out on
first
an opportunity to give a dig about my lack of ultimate ability.
After I opened the door and went down. Surprise, surprise! I ended up in the Monokuma archive, which is on the third floor of Grape House.
Meaning the third floor and the fourth floor are actually connected.
Plus, once you've cleared the final dead room once, you can pass through it as many times as you want.
If they used that secret passage, they could have gone between the two houses as much as they want.
Infinity Unlimited
Oh.
Flame!
Hello, Gundam.
However, what if the killer was unaware of the existence of the final dead room?
What if the killer was unaware of the existence of the final dead room?
There's no way they didn't know.
That is merely an illusion you have fabricated from your own suspicion. If you value your life, you should stop with your scrutiny.
There's no way I can stop.
I can't help it at this point.
What did you say? Don't make me angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
I go all green. Alright. The Bottle Showdown. Okay. Okay.
Even if the turbid box doesn't exist,
Whoa.
you could travel through multiple planes, provided you use a spacious wormhole. However, how frail I say! Your decayed illusion. Shall I feed you to the progeny of vile deities?
His argument is exhausting. Just listening to it makes me tired. I need to skillfully cut back against his words so he doesn't outpace me.
Even if the turbid box
Right.
doesn't exist, you could travel through multiple planes, provided you use a spacious wormhole. However, how frail I say! Your decayed
Am I supposed to get those other ones?
Shall I feed you to the progeny of vile deities?
Can I move it?
Even if the turbid box doesn't exist, you could travel through multiple planes, provided you use a spacious wormhole. However, how frail I say! Your decayed illusion. Shall I feed you to the progeny of vile deities?
Okay. What is going on here?
Even if the turbid box doesn't
Oops.
exist,
No, don't do that.
you could travel through multiple planes, provided you use a spacious wormhole. However, how frail I say! Your decayed illusion. Shall I feed you to the progeny of vile deities?
God damn it.
Even if the turbid box doesn't exist, you could travel through multiple planes, provided you use a spacious wormhole. However, how frail I say! Your decayed illusion. Shall I feed you to the progeny of vile deities?
Right, pause. I have to try and work out what is going on here.
Turbid box doesn't exist.
There we go.
You could travel through multiple.
How did I not know that?
Provided you use a spacious wormhole. However, how frail I say! Your decayed illusion.
Oops.
Shall I feed you to the progeny of vile deities?
Whew, got it. Advance.
I already proved the secret passage exists. The secret passage was at the Octagon.
Okay.
Know the limits of your own reasoning. You say the killer went to the Octagon. Don't bark, you cur! If you don't want to try, at least pray to the key which dwells in the light.
He probably means try providing the evidence that the killer went to the Octagon. Right, if that's the case, I should have it too. The key which dwells in the light that will break through the darkness.
Know the limits of your own reasoning.
Is it
You
the
say
wire?
The killer went to the Octagon. Don't bark, you cur! If you don't want to drown in the maelstrom, at least pray to the key which dwells in the light.
Right, okay, so it's going to be... Right, okay, let's do it. So when it's
Know the
orange...
limits of your own reasoning. You say the killer went to the Octagon. Don't bark, you cur! If you don't want to drown in the maelstrom of...
Jack Hughes!
Through those words.
I got it. Rake.
The wire used to string up Nekomaru's body. The hammer that looked like the weapon. And the chain on the door in the tower. Those are all the items that weren't in Funhouse. Where did the killer obtain them?
Where did the killer obtain them indeed? And that's another episode of Borderline Games. Thanks for watching. Next episode, we're going to find out exactly how the murders were done and by whom. And I'm guessing it was Gundam, but you never know. In Danganronpa, it might change. I will see you next time.